We all want someone to love.
There you are.
We did it longer as a couple.
Provocative.
Daly and I have always...
Outrageous.
I'm wired.
Hi.
Or something.
Love you, Vanilla. So
Extreme love. Luxury trips and expensive treats.
I've never spent any of my dates.
And later, the
Partnerships that I can have. So I already have an older guy. I need younger men. I mean, what?
in an extraordinary situation.
Loved his personality.
The bio of his Grindr account said something of a tree.
These bohemian boyfriends live an
Live our friend's backyard.
But there's one thing about
Man, and I am actually pregnant.
carrying a baby isn't something many men expect to experience. Who?
I identify as a transgender male. Female-born body. I always felt different. Like I'm stuck in who I was at that time. Once I hit puberty, I didn't really know anything about that. I didn't know how to explain that. I didn't know what to do, and I was just like, okay, enough. I started testosterone in 2012. I got this one is in 2013, right, man.
Although Wiley's had a procedure to remove his breast, male genitals had been a turn-off for previous partners.
Everybody where we became physically intimate. Stefan knew right off the bat that
It might still be up to their old tricks.
It was a question by his doctors and what we had believed to be truth.
Testosterone to give him male attributes like facial hair, both
11 weeks after I took the test and I saw that it popped positive.
As a gay person, I don't think I ever really...
To choose, do I want to give it up for adoption? What am I going to
decision that few small-town girls would ever dream of. Complete stranger. And this first date has a twist.
I'm feeling a little nervous. I hope.
Hey! Oh my God! It's good to finally.
All were matched on a website that pairs rich businessmen with travel companion business operation.
I do this primarily, I'd say, because as far as paying for the other person, I have no problem with it at all. In fact, I insisted rather just go home alone. Maybe if I'm like really
Thick way to fall in love with somebody easily.
Alyssa's met plenty of
I've been to Cancun, London, Ibiza. Every date, every guy I've seen, they do pay for everything.
hoping that bankrolling her New York getaway will mean he'll get lucky.
Okay, I'm hoping to get out of this a new adventure, and what can I say? That's it, though. That's it. No other ulterior motives.
tonight, hopefully. We'll see.
Time for a quick update. Has on
Confident, and I think confidence is sexy. I have always been indulged to Netflix and chill. I could definitely see myself like
It's got a sexy side hustle.
What kind of modeling?
I do swimsuit, basically anything you can think of.
Very nice.
Will his luck hold and get him an invite to her room for a nightcap?
I have kissed the guys. I'll hug them. I'll kiss them.
Little piggy going home alone with Oliver.
I'm glad we found each other on that website. I'm glad we.
I am off to Miami, where it's gonna be warm.
Sounds like she's got plenty of choices. Carl, choice can be very, very good. But 20 years ago,
It was love at first sight in that I'm smart.
I was very physically attracted to her. Wanted to have sex.
Kenya got the shocking news that every wife
I was distraught. I was like, what are you talking about?
Behind Kenya's back, that kind of thing. So I just brought it to her.
Wasn't going for it.
Because I've heard of men dating other women or being in polygyny, but the more I thought about it, I said, maybe it does make sense.
unique twist. Both are dating other people. They're also very...
I just imagined you on stage being all like, oh, hello. I don't really care.
To help others avoid the potential...
Is we educate people in what we call the new paradigm.
Becoming a lot more common. At one time, a study showed it's the fastest growth.
And now they want to tell their spouse the truth. We have people
who've just started an open relationship, but are finding that the
saying we want to explore openness, we want to know what that looks like, and we've been at play parties together.
That's when Luna first met Kenya.
It was my idea to come here. And we ended up being in a self-pleasuring circle. Transformational orgasm. I just knew.
Has she crossed the line?
Luna.
Fears of him thinking that I'm another man.
Sure.
And to be sexual and have sex with another.
Reveals she's fallen in love with his best friend.
I'm probably the only transgender male that's pregnant. How would I be treated?
Wiley and Stefan's world was rocked when they discovered Wiley.
I think a lot was just kind of rolling through our heads.
We kind of just what I was gonna do, what my choices were. We knew we had, you know what, I really want to be a dad.
Uh-oh, here's my baby.
He's good.
That all-important birthing bag.
Do we need white floss? Do we need any, I don't know, butt cream? What is this for? Do we need any bottles?
You're quite welcome.
Today's their last prenatal ultrasound.
Good.
What I'm hoping for, just healthy.
Right? So that's, up there on that.
Stefan to a girl.
If it was a little girl, still on testosterone at that time.
Wiley suspended his hormone.
There's a constant battle in my head, like I had to just continuously to tell myself who I want to be. And I am who I am.
First off, and what we want to see is that profile, just like that. So let me go ahead and switch to this precious little face.
Prepared for the birth they are.
How's prepping coming along for birth?
A little nerve-wracking.
Not just yet.
Not yet.
I'm like, where's the birthing bag? We're not ready.
Even though he's worried about the pain, it's staying at a hospital that's got Wiley
As a transgender individual in the hospital, okay, to call us by our correct pronouns and to respect us.
idea for a home delivery.
Have a seat anywhere.
This free-spirited con guy that might pose a problem.
The person who
Love with your boyfriend's best friend is certainly a good reason to seek help.
Taylor, all of a sudden, Mason started showing up for me.
jump into this, because we aren't going to know. The anticipation is way worse than the realization. That was my philosophy. Her philosophy was like, let's go slow, let's do real careful, and being really careful because I don't want to push her away and all this stuff. So
Again, it's just a receptive to a different energy, because that's what she's getting basically from Taylor. Really.
Advice to be more mindful of each other. Luna and Mason, never easy or straightforward, even for the experts.
And a lot of emotions. It was really challenging. I get along with his partners who have so much common sense that they don't...
Lovers to be married. So how will she react when Carl falls... Coming up, Wiley faces labor. Embrace their threesome.
I think we have an intervention on our hands today.
He is almost at his due date.
On the scale.
Know how to deal with him. So he's going with a midwife and a home.
She has worked with queer couples before.
We planned as well, but it's also new to her.
Well, there he is.
First male birth.
How you doing?
I'm good in a couple of hours, still the same.
Should we blow up the birth tub and feel? So we've got these handles, a cup holder. Be sitting on the edge too.
That's pretty cool. It's really nice. It's roomy.
If the baby's born in there, that's fine. We'll usually get you out. It's a little bit harder to know how much blood you're losing, and we want to know exactly how much. Really no harm because they're in the water in your belly.
Anxiety builds. Wiley's feeling tense.
The thing, just being more comfortable in my body.
Having had body experience, but you're going to have to surrender to the trust and just accepting and opening up to the functions and the anatomy that he has.
Happy and healthy. Is this water birth going to work out? As I'm dilated as much as I could, but I can't deliver him, so just hoping.
Worried about going through labor as a man, Wiley makes a...
Hey! Hi!
Oh my gosh, so good to see you.
I want to have a home birth, I want to have a water birth. Is it going to be too nerve-wracking?
Into that, deep well of apart.
While Wiley and Stefan get his wife.
Kenya and I have been in an open marriage.
Husband to only sleep with married lovers.
I'll prefer married. Sharing a man is actually my preference. I like Carl for a lot.
Okay. In terms of how much I talk to Kenya about relationships to be separate, meaning a certain level of intimacy.
Singles seem to be the last thing on her mind because she's busy.
Bubbles.
Bubbles being titties and that.
That I can have. For me, I'm a human being. There are 7 of us.
I started having all these, thoughts and images.
Passion with their lovers. The next day in the office, it's back to weighing heavily on the love guru's minds.
themselves in an open relationship.
One way to describe it might be, and Taylor and I are friends.
Oh, my eyes.
Just so emotional. Our relationship seems complex and complicated.
Taylor, about 2 weeks ago, was having a hard time because it was...
Has changed and affected our relationship.
I mean, part of that's, I guess, why we're doing this whole coaching thing.
Like male bravado kind of battle.
We have an intervention on our hands today, and this is making...
What happens when Wiley faces his worst nightmare?
This cord was wrapped around.
In North Carolina, polyamorous love...
Changed my barometer on here, so it only gives me guys within 5 miles. Oh, he's 32. He's 10 years younger than me. God, can you imagine the way he touches you? The way he was very awesome. Most of the men I dated.
Somebody who's worth the drive, right? There we go.
Fine.
Pregnant dad Wiley and his partner Stefan.
My main fear that I had when I first found out I was pregnant was...
To the point of exhaustion and discomfort. For a lot of people have brought babies into the world for a millennia. We have raised unique, beautiful, perfect, special ways that, like, you guys are carrying.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Stefan might feel better, but Wiley's concerns are still...
To the plan, being in labor too long, and if that's going to create stress on the baby. It has been pretty rough. It has taken a minute.
...for the birth.
It's time, oh my gosh.
Saving their love triad.
Idea how to have an open relationship. Yet they found themselves...
In trouble adjusting to the fact that she wanted multiple lovers.
But who's also Mason's best friend.
I feel we haven't seen each other in a while, but I need to tell you a little bit more about what's going on. But why don't you guys catch us up?
Hard to deal with jealousy, specifically with
Who I've been intimate with before, maybe sleep in her tent. I don't know where she's at.
Right.
Yeah, totally.
It's not even about him having intimacy with another woman.
No.
Listen, there's just two different individuals in your life.
Sometimes, you know, I'm like, man, like, I support this, and still, like, I'm just feeling these. And I'm like, I don't want that.
I want to know where my intention that's going to keep you guys really from living an authentic
Relationship, like, I wanted more time. I'm not getting that connection that I want.
It's really challenging to have two primary partners.
Right.
Because I should be hanging out with you, or we should, because we'd be so good collaborating.
Take it or leave it.
What I hear from won't happen.
Right.
That's not
it's confusing.
For Taylor and I'm like, oh, Taylor started putting in, like, ultimatums.
Are these hard questions?
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't want you to, but women have not been trained to do this available to you.
Whatever phase just happened, it feels less intense than it has been.
Do you guys no contract, no spelling out of what is what? I don't, because even if you get into the contract and you want to shift it later, you renegotiate.
With a love contract in place, it seems the threesome
Conclusions that we came to with Carl and Kenya.
that has something to get off his chest.
Can we pause for a second?
There are some big changes in Texas too. Midwife Rachel's house for his water birth. Grueling 54 hours. Wiley's at his break when the baby's heartbeat drops to dangerous levels.
That fear of mistreatment of a transgender
Need to head to the hospital, where it becomes clear that what
is, C-section.
This cord was wrapped around his...
in North Carolina, thinking the threesome had been saved with a love contract.
It felt good. It felt really good. I want.
Release the bubble.
I feel like Luna and Mason and Taylor
Don't want that.
I really can sense tension when people...
Key is communication.
Across, it's like, oh, Taylor, you have all these needs, but I can't meet all your needs. Go find yourself another. You've said, oh, I do want to be partners with you. Oh, I want to live with you. I want to have kids with you. This relationship is me feeling like I'm giving and you taking and not having this...
A partner would, like, give us hope to continue relating. I know.
Pursuing that, the way it was being portrayed is like, I'm just like, oh, poly issues.
With love coaches Carl and Kenya, who can...
Struggles we see in society I think we need those struggles in order.
Well, we're creating the new culture. We're creating the future of love.
Doesn't turn out as he'd hoped. His worst fear realized.
We strolled into the operating room and they were like, okay, we're pulling.
It was very difficult to see Wiley in so much pain.
Thankfully, with our OB, be protective of who he is, use correct pronouns.
We just kept rolling through it, and Wiley was a champ.
After a
He's a baby. He's a baby.
Our responsibility now. He's been a joy.
Facing his fears means that Wiley's got a new outlook
through and has helped me grow so much and even be able to
way as unique as these two dads.
We want to raise him. If Rowan ended up being transgender, it'd be...
Rowan is curious about his birth and how we...
Raising a baby on a bus is unconventional, to say the least.
Bus with a baby is...
It feels very intimate. I'm gonna change you a little sleepy. Just because then I feel... Maybe because he's so small.
I feel like his items.
And this couple are sure that Rowan will...
It feels good and promising, because it's not just us anymore.